How's it going? I got a new tool in the shop and I wanted to show it off. I think it'd really help a lot of people who are do-it-yourselfers. It's the Park Tool CV-1, and what it does is it removes basically the valve core from your inner tube. So we'll show you that in a minute. And this way you can add like tire sealants. So some people like slime is a pretty common one for mountain bike applications. And then the Schwalbe Blue Dock, maybe if you've got a road bike, something you want a little better sealant in. But in order to do that, you've got to remove the inside of the valve. So we've got a Schrader valve here, an auto type valve. So let's grab our tool and see how we do that. So we've got our tool, and this tool has a couple little features. So you see it's got both ends. This side will be for road bikes or the Presta valves. This side will be for the Schrader valves, the more mountain bike and cruiser type bikes. And then it's even got a funny little notch in the side of the tool. And what that is for valve extenders. So on road bikes, which have really deep wheels, you actually have to add a longer valve on. And the back of the tool, it's got a really nice diagram about what each part of the tool is for. And then a cool little description on what this guy does. So let's see how to use it. So we'll start off with our automotive or mountain bike kind of tire. And you can see the little valve in there. So the little silver looking piece is what we're going to remove. So for that we need the skinny end of the tool. So if you can see inside of the valve, there's a silver slot, and it's pretty much the 6 in the noon position. And then on our tool, we'll receive that. So let's go ahead and put in our tool. Find that groove, I feel it locked in. And then righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So I want to turn my tool to the left to loosen it. It came loose, it unscrewed, and then we can pull out our valve. So then our valve came out. So that little black part is the little O-ring that keeps a nice tight seal. And now you can see you can attach the tube that comes with slime. Will actually attach to that end. And then when you push in your slime, it'll go into the inner tube. This slime bottle actually has a tool on it, so you don't need to buy a special tool. But this tool is a little cheap, it's just a little plastic piece. They're pretty much a one-time use, maybe. So I like to have the tool just in case you want to buy the slime in a larger tube. You get a better deal. So once you've added your slime, you want to add your valve back in. So remember the orientation where you pulled it out. It kind of look symmetrical. So you can see on the right it's got a threaded bit. You've got your black O-ring right in the middle, and then you've got your channel right on the left. So you want the threaded bit to the outside of your valve while you're installing it. So we'll go ahead, put our valve back in. You want to use the same end of your valve and give it a twist righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, so we're turning it to the right. And then you'll feel it stop, and then you just want to give it a good little tug. You don't have to wrench it to get it on there, you just want a nice tight snug. And then you can pump up your inner tube. So that's for the automotive valves. But a really common application as well is on road bikes. So for example, if you've got a tubeless setup, you'll still have a Presto valve coming outside of your rim. But I know a lot of people who run inner tubes and still like to have the slime in it. If you've got a really long ride, you don't want to be getting flats. So you can see the little threaded section on top. So we've got our nut, which we loosen when we air up our tires. But then you can see this little section's got threads, and then that is actually installed inside the base here. So we'll keep that nice and tight. So for this, we're actually going to use the wider end of the tool. Install it over the tool. Make sure it's seated properly. The threads should be located inside the tool so that the tool meets with the base of your Presto valve. And then again, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, so we're turning this counterclockwise. And then your valve pops right out. So this is our part we inflate the inner tube. These are the threads that attach to the tool, and these are the threads that attach to the base, and then you've got a little O-ring there. So if you've got a road bike and you're using a really high duty sealant, now you can insert the bottle into the valve, put the recommended amount of sealant in. Now we want to install our core back in. So the same way we removed it, this is the nut that's loosened to pump up your tire. So we want that on the outside of the valve. We want our O-ring pointed inwards. So let's install that. And this one's pretty large, so you can kind of thread it on with your fingers, get it finger tight. But then you want to grab your tool again, move it around, get it nice and seated, nice good grip, you don't want to strip it. And then righty-tighty, and then again, just give it a nice snug fit. You don't have to wrench on it too bad. Now you're ready to pump up your tire. So this is a really fun tool to have if you're in an area where you get a lot of thorns. If you've been having a lot of problems with flats, you can save a little bit of money and do all this yourself. And just get one of these tools. Alright, hope you enjoyed that little repair. Hope you're getting out and riding. Be safe.